Today, I have Blake in town from Los Angeles at the Bubble Hive. He's going to be talking with Jake from Rockford Buzz about his tour, everything he's got going on, and a little bit of information about his YouTube channel, Dead People Shit. So check it out.
All right, thanks so much, Chris, for the intro. So Blake, tell me all about how did it get started? When did you start rapping? Where are you originally from? Kind of give me the history.
Okay, I was born in the Quad Cities. I made my way to Rockford. I started rapping about, I'd say, when I was about 9 years old. I started toying around with the idea. I know
It's super young.
Yeah, it's super young, right? But my dad did music and stuff like that, so I knew it was a possibility.
Yeah.
So I started writing my own lyrics, and then by the time I was 16, MySpace had came out. So I was selling my CDs on there, and I was pumping my music, booking my own shows through MySpace at the age of 16. So
nice.
I'd say 16 is when I started to take it more
seriously and trying to really make it a career.
Yeah, exactly.
And you said that your dad was a musician.
Yeah.
Big inspiration. He's known for Johnny Cash, right?
Yeah. He's
a little different.
Yeah. He spent his whole life on the road. So when it came to music, he was like, Blake, you need to go to college. And that's what led me up to Rockford. I was going to college in Rock Valley and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I want you to go to college and try that out. So I always had a plan B, but that was plan B, but plan A was the music, So
Yeah.
I tried it out for him because he didn't want me to live a life on the road, like he has been.
Right.
So, but I followed in his footsteps, and here I am.
Here you are.
Yeah.
So you said that you were born in Quad Cities. You made your way up to Rockford. Tell me kind of what drew you to Rockford, and how did you meet Chris Hare?
There was a lot of hip hop at the time going on in Rockford with the Covert Empire, and then Chris Hare had I think he was living in Arizona at the time, right? So he moved back, and I was new to the whole Rockford hip hop scene, but at the same time I had a big momentum gained online and stuff like that. So I heard about this guy, C. Hare, that came back in town that had worked with larger musicians, and he had a studio down on Broadway. I believe it was 9th and Broadway at the time.
All right.
And, at the time he was working primarily with this artist Fresco that was from Rockford that had gained a lot of views.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to get down with it. I seen that he was serious and I was serious, but you know what I mean? I really wasn't catching his eye at the time, you know what I mean? So I booked a studio session at his studio.
Right.
And, I think I booked a couple, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
And he saw my work ethic and that I was taking everything seriously, and he kind of just took me under his wing, I used to sleep in his basement,
Yeah.
So for a long time, Chris and I worked, just together and built up this whole momentum, and they got me all the way to California, essentially.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So you mentioned some bigger artists. You've worked with guys like Post Malone, G-Eazy. Tell me a little bit about kind of what that experience was and how that all came about.
A lot of these artists, I worked with them earlier in their careers. You know? So G-Eazy, Chris had linked us up with his manager, and we did a lot of we brought him to Rockford. Can you believe that? G-Eazy to Rockford multiple times, and you think about that, G-Eazy came to Rockford before he was playing Chicago even,
Right.
So we would tour with G-Eazy, and we'd use that as a networking thing,
Mm-hmm.
And Chris would line that up, and he would book these tours and riff raff, and it was great, you learn a lot. You learn that these artists are just normal people, and they stay down with the hustle and the grind, and that's how it works,
Yeah, it doesn't just come easy.
It doesn't. Nothing happened overnight. G-Eazy was a 10-year process.
Right. Yeah,
so
he really grounded.
We brought him here probably 10 years ago. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So how many shows have been booked for you? Working with C. Hare and here in the community.
Oh man,
how many of you?
I think we used to do in Rockford or
just in general. Just in general, yeah. Throughout your career.
We used to do a Rockford one at least once a month, but it would be 3 times a month. We played Mary's Place, Bar 3, Kryptonite, something like that.
Yeah.
So those were our regular venues at the time. I don't know if those are still open. Those are great. Those are great venues, and shout out to those people. But probably we play about 100 or 150 shows a year. We'd stay booked because back in the day, that was when the internet was still growing. So we were real boots on the ground,
Right.
Real grassroots style,
Yeah. So when you're talking about hustle, that's what hustle means, right?
And now that I'm older, I know it's nothing to go back to that. And we're about to do that for 30 more days with the Risky Business Tour.
Yeah. So speaking of Risky Business and a little kind of catching up here with where you are today, what took you out to Los Angeles, and how long have you been out there, and what's that experience been like?
Well, I feel it came to a point where we kind of hit a ceiling in Chicago, and we were playing the main venues and stuff like that. And the next move would be to go to Los Angeles, right? And go get a record deal and to make it all happen. And that's what we did, you know?
Just like that.
Yeah, that's what we did. But I'm independent now, you know, and we're ready to do it again and hit the road, boots on the ground, and just do it, start the engine back up like we never left off. You know?
Very cool, very cool. And we were talking a little bit before. You said you've been in LA for 6 years now.
Yeah.
So awesome. And so tell me a little bit about this tour that's coming up. You're saying you're going to be hitting the road?
Yeah, so we are playing some select dates with this artist, Landon Cube. He's pretty big.
Okay.
We got Nino Cruz from Rockford coming with us.
Nice.
Bubble Hive sponsoring it. Shout out Chris and Todd, you know, for making it, you know what I mean? Without them, this couldn't happen. And, you know, we're going to hit the road and we're going to, you know, put on for Rockford, you know?
That's awesome.
Do what we do best.
Going out,
you know?
go out around the world and represent.
Yeah.
And so, speaking of traveling, I know you like to travel, and I guess there's some rumors out there that you kind of hit the world looking for the most unique vintage clothing that you can find.
Yeah, my girlfriend and I, we run a vintage clothing company called Dead People Shit, right?
Okay, that's interesting.
You like that name? Yeah, a lot of people do. So we'll travel around, and we have a YouTube channel, Dead People Shit, where we go and find vintage. I'll go in Thailand, I'll go in Bali, and I'll go in a small village, and I'm finding the stuff that we sent over there from America, and I'm finding the good stuff that they're paying top dollar for, and I'm selling it in Hollywood. And we show how it's done. We just got back from Guatemala, like I told you, you know?
Right.
So, and it's cool because I'm able to do it while I do my music. Like today in town, I'll be able to hit a Salvation Army, link up with all, and make an episode. So I'm killing two birds with one stone, essentially.
Very nice.
So yeah, and it's all art and it's all fashion and it all goes together. So that, and doing what I love that's what I do, you know?
Very cool, man. Well, you kind of segued perfectly. You said your YouTube channel is online. Like, where are all the places that people can go to follow you for your music as well as Dead People Shit?
BlakeBanks.com is a one-stop shop. You're gonna have the links to my Spotify, Apple Music, and everything. I'm available on all platforms, YouTube. So BlakeBanks.com is where you'd want to go to find my music. Now for the fashion and the vintage, DeadPeopleShit.com. So we make it real simple for you.
Nice, and you have links to like all your social and all that good fun jazz too.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So before we formally wrap up, is there anything else that you'd like to kind of shout out or mention? Projects or tour dates, or where can people go to get tickets?
Be on the lookout for the Risky Business Tour coming soon. You know, you can get your tickets BlakeBanks.com or the Bubble Hive, and that's for individual shows. Yeah. And you can expect the Risky Business album coming in the next month or so. And I got a new music video out now, Los Angeles, and a new music single out now, Small Dark Town, music video on the way. So I'm constantly dropping material. So you just gotta follow me, man.
All right. Yeah, you heard him. Just follow him. Yeah, BlakeBanks.com.
Hey, it was nice.
DeadPeopleShit.com.
Nice.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.